Yo, this is McGarren sharing some info on ellipses. First off, an ellipse is a circle that is viewed at an angle. So depending upon your eye level, the ellipse will be more open or more closed. I took 3 pictures. This one, we're looking pretty much level on. I know the horizon line is right here because I can't see into this ellipse. It's basically flat. But this guy is a little bit lower than the horizon line, so I can see into this ellipse. Now I'm looking down. The horizon line is moved higher than the top of this viewpoint, so I'm looking down into these guys. I can see the ellipses a little bit better. They open up. Notice the width has not changed on the ellipses. It's just the opening or the height of this ellipse. If I take another viewpoint, again, the width doesn't change, just the opening or the height, and the horizon line has moved up way high. So the only thing that changes is the height of the ellipse. The width does not really change. So if I were to draw an ellipse on each one of these shapes, you could see another very important feature. Look at these things. The ellipse at the top is shorter than the ellipse at the bottom. Here, you can see a little bit of the top of this cylinder because it's close to the horizon line, but look at how big the ellipse is down here. It's like 5 times the size. So what we gather from that is if an ellipse is closer to the horizon line, it's going to be more closed vertically. And if it's further away, it opens up a lot more. Here's another example with this one. So the distance, the vertical distance here, is going to be shorter than the vertical distance here. But the width is going to stay the same because the object's width didn't actually change. It's just your viewpoint that has changed. There's another thing that we can look at, and that is rim weight. So if we go back to these little shapes, the distance between the ellipse on the lip of this ellipse here is about 1 millimeter. On the front side, it's like 2 to 3 millimeters. So it is more narrow in the back than it is in the front. So how do you construct an ellipse? Well, what I like to do is have 2 different things. So the top and bottom center is the highest and lowest point of the ellipse. The left and right center is the widest point of the ellipse, so that is this point. And if I draw on those lines, you can see the distance between the center line here, this top center line, and this bottom center line are the same. Same thing with the right side. This right side is the same distance as the left side, and that's where the center of the ellipse is. Notice that the ellipse is not pinched or flattened. It's not a straight line that goes between these edges. It's a good, general, soft curve that comes around. So now I'm going to go into the demonstration part of this to be able to show you how to actually do it. First thing you're going to do is establish your vertical line and a horizontal line. Make sure that this distance is the same. Snap, I love it when that happens. All right, same thing with this distance. Oh, dang it, I was way off. But anyways, so have these distances the same, and then we come in and start to draw. And I'm just going to refine that ellipse really quick. There we have an ellipse. To draw my second ellipse, I'm going to take this guy, figure out where that bottom portion is.
Any ideas?
Really simple way to do it is just do your plus sign, make sure that they're equally proportioned in both directions, and slowly build it out. You don't want to compress it or have it have a bulge like that. That's not a good ellipse. Or if it goes straight across, that's not a good ellipse. So make sure that you get a good, consistent, smooth transition that's going around your object. And if you need to, just practice doing ellipses. Practice an ellipse. Draw your sign in there. Make sure that you're getting it parallel in both directions. Sometimes it'll look a little bit off, but just kind of tuck up those corners and make it a little bit better. Maybe you need to make it more of an opening. But either way, just practice the ellipses. You'll have a good time working on them. Remember, an ellipse is just a happy squashed circle. That's it. So, happy ellipse drawing.